for joining us tonight for the Exploratory Majors Freshman Forum Breakout session. My name is Heather Searcy. I'm the Associate Director of Academic Advising in the Students First Office. I also serve as an Exploratory Majors Academic Advisor. And I'm just going to talk with you a little bit tonight to prepare you for advising and registration for the spring 2021 term. I have a colleague in the Zoom here with me, Angie Allred. She's also an Exploratory Majors Advisor, and she is going to help me moderate questions that come through the chat. And so we've got an agenda that we're going to work through today. And then at the end, we're going to reserve time for Q&A. So Angie's going to help me with that today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So just a quick look at what we're going to talk through tonight. So first, we're going to talk about scheduling your advising appointments through Starfish. I think hopefully many of you are familiar with Starfish and how to schedule appointments already, but if not, we're going to review that pretty quickly. We are going to talk about preparing for your exploratory advising appointments, focusing primarily on the two tools that you will use to select courses for the upcoming term, so your degree works and specifically what if reports. And then also we'll talk with you about the class schedule search tool. We're going to touch on a little bit of registration troubleshooting. So as you register, if you encounter some problems, we're going to give you some strategies for how you might handle those things. We're going to touch on the withdrawal deadline, which I think Dana Saunders already mentioned to you all tonight, but we're going to touch on that one more time. We're going to talk about an upcoming event we have planned for our exploratory majors, and then a few final reminders before we open up Q&A for any questions that you all might have. So let's dive into scheduling through Starfish. So I've put a Go link up here at the top of the screen, go.uncg.edu/starfish scheduling. That link will take you directly to a PDF that will walk you through how to schedule your appointment with your academic advisor. I'm going to talk you through it real quickly as well. So you will log into Starfish. You'll go to starfish.uncg.edu, and you're going to look for your Success Network or My Success Network in your navigation menu. And so once you're there, you're just going to look for your advisor's name and click on the three dots. That'll take you to your advisor's schedule and sort of how to get in touch with your advisor. But if you click on schedule, you can view your advisor's Starfish calendar. And so once you're looking at that calendar, what you really want to be looking out for are little green circles with a plus sign. So once you find a little circle with a plus sign, that indicates that it's an appointment that's available for you to sign up for. So look at your advisor's calendar, find a day and time that work for you, confirm the appointment, and then most importantly, mark your calendar. Our advisors' calendars get kind of packed during peak advising. And so it's really, really important that you remember when you scheduled your appointment and you show up for it. So you will get an email. Once you schedule an appointment, it triggers an email to be sent from Starfish. So you will have that reminder in your inbox as well. One quick note, if you don't see any available appointments when you first open your advisor's calendar, typically that's because they don't have availability that week. So you want to, if that happens to you, you want to make sure to click the arrow to view the next week until you see some of those little green circles with the plus sign. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Also, if you've forgotten who your academic advisor is, you can view their name on the top of your DegreeWorks report. We'll get to more about your DegreeWorks report in a minute, but that's a great place to find your advisor's name if you can't remember it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how to prepare for academic advising appointments. So there are probably, I would say, three things that you want to make sure at a bare minimum you do these three things. So the first is to prepare a list of the majors and or minors that you are considering pursuing. That'll help your advisor sort of look at your course schedule, your plans for your course schedule with an appropriate lens, and keep in mind the things you might be interested in as you all select classes together. We ask that you do bring a list of at least 5 classes for the spring 2021 term to your advising appointment. I want to emphasize, we know that using all of these advising tools, it can kind of be a lot in the beginning, in the first semester that you're doing it. So all we ask is that you do your best to look at your degree works report and pull courses that you think you need and that you're interested in. It's okay if your list is not perfect. We will work with you in your advising appointment. We'll review all of the classes that you bring and make sure that they're good options given the GEC requirements that you have yet to fulfill, and then also majors and or minors that are on your list of considerations. And then the last thing is just to bring any questions or concerns that you'd like to talk through with your advisor. We are happy to talk with you about anything that has come up for you since you've been at UNCG, any challenges you've encountered. We want to get you connected with resources that can support you. If we are not the folks to support you or to be able to help you with a particular issue or concern, we will most certainly make sure that you get connected with the people on campus who can help you with that. So bring any questions or concerns that you want to talk through with your advisor to this meeting as well. Okay, so I mentioned that the two advising tools that we're going to focus on tonight are your degree works report and your class schedule search. So hopefully you all have some familiarity with these tools. If not, that's okay. We'll touch on them tonight. You will again review them with your advisor during your advising appointment. But we want to kind of review them with you and make sure you're feeling at least familiar with them. So you're going to use these two tools to identify classes that you're interested in taking next semester. And so as you're looking for classes, kind of your objectives are to find courses that are going to fulfill remaining GEC requirements or fulfill potential major requirements based on, whatever majors or minors are on your list of considerations, which we'll talk about more on an upcoming slide. And then in an ideal world, you're going to find classes that fulfill both general education requirements and potential major requirements. So I just grabbed a quick screenshot here of the general education core section from an exploratory or undecided degree works report. So when you log into UNC Genie and you click on degree works, this is sort of what will automatically be generated for you as an exploratory major. So you can see on this example here, the GET categories that the student still needs to satisfy. So a GFA, a GHP, a GMT, for example. So those 3-letter codes are things you want to keep in mind. You'll use those to search for classes. But what we want to talk with you a little bit more tonight is preparing for academic advising with a what-if report in particular. So as you know, you can look at a degree works report as an exploratory major. It does not include major requirements, right? Because you haven't selected one yet. But if you'd like to sort of try on a major, the what-if report is how you'll want to do that. And so it's found in UNC Genie, really the same way you would get to your exploratory report. You'll navigate there. So click the student tab, the student records, degree works, and then you'll click on what if on the left side menu. And so once you're there, you'll select the catalog year, the program, the major, and the concentration if one exists. And then you'll click process what if. This is a great way to view major requirements for programs that you are considering, and you can see how your credits and current registration might apply to a major that is on your list of considerations. So I pulled a real quick screen grab just of the top portion of a psychology major degree works report. As you are running what if reports and thinking about majors you might be interested in, you really want to take a look at the low level courses, the lower level, like 100 level courses that are required within a major you're considering, and kind of dig into those and see, if you might be interested in taking the course. So this major in psychology what if report that I've got on the screen here, you can see one of the first courses listed is general psychology, or PSY 121. So this might be a great course for you to look into if you are one of the students who might be interested in majoring in psychology. And so we want to talk next about the class schedule search and sort of how you fit these two tools together to learn more about classes that will simultaneously allow you to explore majors of interest while also satisfying general education requirements. So we're going to talk about the class schedule search, and then I'm going to kind of tie these two things together for you. So hopefully, again, you have a little bit of familiarity with our class schedule search. You will, to access it, you'll navigate to UNC Genie. You will not log into the or enter the secure area like you normally would. To search for classes, there is a link halfway down that main menu that says class schedule. And so that's what you want to click on to search for courses. You will select the upcoming term, so spring 2021. I understand spring courses just went live like 30 minutes ago. So right now you could log in here, or not log in, you could click on the class schedule and view all of the classes that are going to be offered in the spring 2021 semester. And so once you're there, you can search by subject or by get category. So in this screen grab here, I pulled one from the class schedule search results page for PSY 121, which we saw on the previous slide. And I wanted to pull this for you to show you that this psychology course, once you look it up, if you look to the far right over here, the attribute column, you can see that there is a 3-letter get code in there. So it says GSB. And that is how we know that this class will meet a general education requirement at the same time that it's going to satisfy a psychology major requirement. And so anytime you're considering taking a course that will expose you to a major a little bit more, you search by the class and then look over to the attribute column and see if it also satisfies a gen ed requirement or a GEC requirement. And so for this student in particular, you can see that they have one more GSB that they need to satisfy. So selecting Psych 121 would be a great option because they're considering majoring in psych. So it's going to give them some exposure to the discipline, and it's also going to meet their GSB GEC requirement. So that was a very, very quick demo of how you might use a what if analysis to explore majors you might be interested in and find specific courses that might be good choices for you for the spring. So again, I just want to emphasize that our advisors are going to work with you and help you make sure that the courses you're selecting are good options for you, given what majors and minors you're considering. But if you want to really take an extra step and run these what if analyses for yourself, hopefully this gives you a little more info about how to do that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about troubleshooting through the registration process. So I think Dana Saunders spoke with you a little earlier about registration windows and how they are assigned based on earned hours, and all registration windows open at 12:01 a.m. So I can promise you all that your advisors are not sitting at their computers just waiting for emails from you at 12 in the morning. And so we want to give you some tips on how to troubleshoot if you get error messages while you're registering at 12 in the morning. So the very first thing is keep calm and keep working at it. This is not a crisis. You will figure it out. So second tip is remember to use your resources. So you are all here tonight, or you're watching this recorded later, and this is a great step in the right direction. You're going to learn things tonight that you can apply when you encounter challenges. And also you will review this stuff again with your academic advisor. So don't panic. Think about the resources that are at your disposal to sort of figure out why adding a class has not worked for you. So one thing I want to mention is the course search here, your results. If you click on this title that's underlined, it brings you to a little box that looks like this. And it has tons of information in there for you. And I always tell students, if you get an error message, this is probably one of the first places you want to check to investigate why you may have gotten an error message. So there are 3 things in particular that you might want to look into on this screen. So first is restrictions. So some courses have restrictions on them that prevent students from registering for them. So some classes might have a major restriction, so only students who have declared a major within a particular unit can take a course, or some courses may be restricted to juniors and seniors, and you're a freshman, so you are not able to register for the class. So first thing you want to check for is restrictions. And then the other thing to take a look at are the co-requisite and prerequisite tabs in this box here. So a prerequisite is a course that you need to take before you take another course. And a co-requisite is a course that you need to take along with another course. And so if you have trouble adding a course and you come here and you click on co-requisites and it tells you, for example, you need to register for Bio 111 and 111L at the same time, that's why you're getting an error message, because the system wants you to add both classes at the same time, for example. So you can find answers to those problems here in this box. And then additionally, if you try to add classes, I think another common thing that students encounter is a section closed error. And what that means is essentially that there are no seats remaining in a course. And so if that happens, you need to fall back on your backup classes or your alternates. So when you attend your registration advising meeting, your advisor, ideally, you leave that appointment with 5 classes that are your preferred schedule, and then hopefully 2 or 3 backup classes in the event one of your 5 courses is full. And so ideally, you already have your backup courses set and ready to go. So if one of your preferred courses is full, you've already got these backups ready. If that doesn't work out for you, just go back to the drawing board and find an alternate course. And so you could do that by searching by get category, like we've talked about. You could do that by searching by subject if you want to, dip your toe into your perhaps major discipline. Either one of those strategies is great. You also can absolutely email your advisor and tell them, the class that I was looking for was full. Here's what I chose instead. Do you think that's okay? Is this a good choice? Your advisor will be happy to review courses that you choose as a backup to make sure that they're good choices for you. So just know that that is an option, and we will be happy to help you with that following your registration window. Just don't panic. Work your way through your resources. Try to resolve the issue. If you can't figure it out, that's okay too. You can always email your advisor, but try to work through the error first. Okay, so we are going to move and just mention one more time that this Friday, October 9th, is the last day for you to withdraw from a course without impact to your GPA. After this Friday, if you withdraw from a class, it will impact your GPA just as an F would. And so we are strongly encouraging all of our exploratory majors to schedule a meeting with to speak with your advisor prior to withdrawing from courses. Get in touch with us ASAP. It's really important that you understand the consequences of withdrawing from courses. And so we are more than happy to do that with you. We have made ourselves very available for you all this week to make sure that you have access to your advisor. So on the screen here, I've got our drop-ins for the remainder of this week. So tomorrow, Thursday, October 8th, we've got several advisors on drop-ins from 1 to 4 p.m. And then on Friday, October 9th, we have our entire advising staff on drop-ins from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And so if you want to talk with an advisor about withdrawing from a class, just go to students.uncg.edu and shoot us a quick web chat. Let us know kind of what you need help with and what you're thinking about withdrawing from. And then we will get you in line to speak with an advisor. Okay, just a quick plug for an upcoming event that the Students First office has been working on for you, the Exploratory Experience panel. So we have recruited former and some current second year exploratory majors to sit on a panel and talk with you about sort of their journey of exploring majors and careers, and for some of them, ultimately declaring their major. So they are going to be ready to talk with you about their experiences and what was really helpful for them. And so we have heard from previous exploratory students that they love to hear from students who have been in their shoes. And so we have put together this panel for you all. It is next Wednesday, October 14th from 6 to 7 p.m. All of our exploratory majors will receive this invitation via email. if you haven't already. I believe emails went out today. So keep an eye out for that. You'll also see it on our social media accounts. But please join us for this panel. I think it'll be really helpful for our exploratory majors. So join us next Wednesday at 6. Okay, just a few final reminders before we open up for questions. So first, just a reminder, don't stress about registration. Your advisor's here to help you, to support you. We will help you make sure that you know what you're doing, that you've got a list of classes you feel really good about for the spring semester. So don't stress, we're here to help you. The second thing is just a reminder that your advising code must be obtained via an appointment with your exploratory advisor. So we will not release advising codes via email. We will not release advising codes via drop-ins. So it's important that you schedule your appointment through Starfish as soon as you are prompted to do so. I believe emails will be going out for that on Friday. So I think you could probably sneak into Starfish now and get your appointment scheduled, but you will be prompted by your academic advisor this Friday. And then also just a reminder that the early bird gets the worm. The earlier you schedule your appointment, the more time you have to plan your classes, the more prepared you're going to feel for registration, and ultimately probably the better your course selection will be. So schedule those advising appointments as early as possible to make sure that you get in with your advisor prior to when your registration window opens. Okay, I think that's all I've got for you guys. Let's go ahead and move into Q&A. So if you all want to use the chat function to send questions in, please do so. Angie's going to help me as questions pop in. If you all have any, she'll read them to me and I'll answer them for you. So let me give you a second to submit any questions you might have, and then we will address them.
Okay, we've got a question. Really, it's about the exploratory experience panel next week about getting a recording of that event.
Yeah, great question. So if you are not available at the time of the event, we will record it and we can share that that link. So we'll record the Zoom meeting and share out with you all. So great question. Yes, we will share it. We will email. We'll email you to let you know how to access the recording as well. Any other questions we can answer for you about advising and registration, about any of the advising tools, timeline for registration?
Okay, Heather, I think you must have just done a great job, and we answered
I was going to say, wow,
questions.
I guess I covered everything. All right, well, thank you all so much for joining us for this breakout session tonight. Of course, if you have more questions, please make sure that you jot those down for your advisor. You can always, send us a web chat for a drop-in any afternoon, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, we're available for you all. So just let us know how we can help you. And thanks so much for joining us tonight.